Looking at the FX space, we've actually seen a decent move higher in terms of euro dollar and cable at the beginning of trade today. That really is the sort of inverse of what we're seeing with dollar yen. We saw this big move lower in terms of dollar yen after that BOJ announcement. So essentially it's all US dollar weakness across the board. We're going to start off with euro dollar, and essentially what we can see here is that we're rallying back towards this 76.4 retracement. Now this is going to be a really key level today to see if it gets taken out or not. I want to take it out to the daily time frame to give you the wider picture. This is starting December. We had this very clearly defined uptrend in play, topped out in May. The first signal of a reversal was a break below the 76.4, 11,220, and then since then, essentially, it's been on its way lower. Now, we have seen this, if we take it onto the 4-hour chart, we have seen this clearly create this sort of double top formation, broke below that, and then we've been seeing this wider rally. So essentially had this sort of smaller intraday sell-off, and then this rally, to me, corresponds with this downtrend here. So these wider swing highs, and as such, this rally, for me, is better to sell into rather than start buying at this point. Yes, we're seeing a rally at the moment. The crucial thing to note is, are we going to regain this level, 11118, which was the high yesterday? That marked, the 76.4 that would really be a good area for this market to start turning around. They don't always play out perfectly, but certainly we saw it hit that level. We got the fill, went short on that. We've now seen it start to rally once more. So certainly we've got this interesting area of resistance where that 76.4 in the previous peak is. We've also got the 200 period SMA at current price action, and we've got this descending trend line, and the fact that we're clearly trending lower throughout July. All in all, that paints a more bearish picture despite the rally that we're seeing at the moment. So I'm happier being short here than I am long, and I'd need to see a break up above this previous peak around about 11165. If we get an hourly close above there, then it negates my bearish view. Looking at what's happening closer to home, this is cable. A similar kind of story. Largely we've been seeing this rotate around this level, essentially 13064. Then we sort of seen, I guess that you could call this a descending triangle. It might not necessarily look like one per se, but you can certainly see that we have lower highs in play and we have flatlining bottoms. Now, if we look on the hourly time frame, we can see, if we make it a little bit more legible, we can see that essentially we keep coming back to the 76.4 sell off, 76.4 sold off, come back, we've got hit the 76.4 on this occasion, and we sold off quite sharply. Yes, we're seeing a rally right now, but I don't think that's necessarily going to last. I think that markets don't necessarily move in a straight line. We got our fill on that 76.4, and I think it will sell off once more. As long as we don't break up above 132.49, I'm pretty confident that we're going to see another leg lower. Look, we've got the Bank of England next week. We do expect to see easing from the Bank of England, and markets generally will front run these announcements, and I do think we're going to see a period of weakness in the lead up to Thursday's Bank of England decision next week. Finally, I wanted to look at what's happening in terms of dollar yen. This is, of course, the big mover overnight. We saw this massive volatility, big spike higher. I'll take it out to the daily time frame to give a wider picture. Essentially, we did manage to marginally break back above this 107 mark, but we hit this trendline resistance, been selling off ever since. On a 4-hour time frame, we can see that essentially we have been creating these lower highs, lower lows. We were talking earlier in the week about that failure to create that new high above that 106.72 and the bearish outlook that came from that, and that's really sort of continued and intensified from there. So we now set a new low. Essentially what I would say is I'm bearish, but watch out for a bounce, because retracements can really catch you out. On this occasion so far, today's top has been at 104. Now 104 also represents the low here from the 26th of July, and as such, it was a good area for it to potentially start reversing. The 1-hour chart shows you that we are starting to see a little bit of price action in the red. I wouldn't necessarily say that indicates that the rally is over. 15-minute chart shows you that at the moment we're gradually moving higher, and as such there's still the chance we could see another move higher for a deeper retracement of this wider move. As such, the signal that I would need for us to continue on this downtrend is to break below the first swing low on the way out of that. On this occasion it's 103.13. If we see another leg higher, then the low could be 103.50. So take it as it comes. I do think we're going to see further downside. I just don't think you should necessarily just jump in. Try and get a good fill, try and get an area where you think that you're getting some value, and try and get something that will show you that actually the downtrend is going to continue. I do expect further downside, but I'm also aware of the fact that when you get a sharp move towards the downside, you also can get very deep retracements, and unless you've got deep pockets, you can get stopped out before it moves in your favour. So take care with that one.